All right. Microphone check. Microphone check. Hold on. Got to make sure I'm in. All righty. All righty. We going good on the mainstream. Man. All righty. Let me go set a leak. Tell everybody I'm live. Okay. Instagram photo. We gonna get into the festivities in a minute, everybody, man. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Whoever's up in here. Dang it, I did not want to include that right, man. Hold on. What's going on, everybody? I'll be monitoring the stream in a second. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Good? All right. As you can see, I'm representing my Minnesota sports teams, man. Today is a great day to talk about sports. Today is a great day to just chill out, man. Sundays are always fun days. Just let me let my Instagram followers and my YouTube, not my YouTube, my Instagram and Facebook followers know. Whew. All right, I just got started. All right, y'all. Let me see. All right, y'all. Let me see. Let me see how to work this thing right. Go to the tube real quick. We're gonna react to some stuff. We're gonna live react to some stuff. Oh, I'm going on YouTube. Let me see. Let's go to Total Pro Sports real quick, man. But first order of business, there's something we got to talk about, man. There's something we got to talk about. Ugh. Let's get this elephant out the room, man. As hype as I am about my Timberwolves, as hype as I am, I'm keeping faith alive and all that. But my thing is, I don't want to jinx my Timberwolves. Period. Point blank. I do not want to jinx my Timberwolves. Let me see. I'm trying to share the Chrome tab instead of the entire screen. Hold on. I'm trying to hit screen share and it's not letting me. Oh, I gotta bigify it. There we go. We gotta talk about we'll react to TPS in a second, but we gotta talk about this matchup right here, man. We got to talk about it. The last game they played, I was impressed. But I don't know how they're going to act this game. I really don't know. Like, hold on. Let me see. Now, let's go over a few things, man.
When your hotel room is your bedroom and your living room and your dining room, maybe you need more than a hotel room. Get an Airbnb and get more space.
That's because the fan is whirring.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Because you are not doing this. Save with DriveWise and get a rate based on you. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Let me just warn my Facebook. The screen time.
A little fake out from Mark Davis, and Game 6 is underway. But that means that you have to be so locked in on people off ball. Here's Towns, five to shoot, lobbing it up to Gobert for the flush. Little slow to get back on D, and Edwards can't make Denver pay. Here's Jokic, the flick ahead. Murray finds Jokic to the rim. Just to touch on something you talked about with the adjustments on Jokic from Chris Finch. As Porter gets free
they
for the slam.
They was getting chewed up early on.
We're going to have to double him more.
Watch how we stepped up.
Not only are we going to have to double him more, but we're going to have to put Karl Anthony Towns on him
it away,
well.
Right?
And Pat needs to stay out of foul trouble, so that's an option for us. As Jokic plods inside and flips it in. Don't have it. He has been woefully cold
on their
for
life
3 in the series
run,
now.
Did they have a bigger lead than this?
Porter, he got it. What a start for Denver, and a timeout taken by Minnesota. Here's Towns, double comes, as it has. Now Gordon.
Oh, I forgot to turn my phone off.
McDaniels dares
Look
to
at that. Look at that.
And rattles it in. That is what Minnesota.
This game is going to depend upon if that guy that just hit that corner three can get and stay hot. The game's in an hour from now, so I'm only be streaming for a little bit. But I figured I'd get that out the way. I can't say who's going to win, who's going to lose, because I don't want to jinx it. But if we are going to win, Jaden McDaniels has to show up. He has to show up. Him and Naz Reid. They all got to show up, man. They all got to show up.
If they're established there, they double teamed them and then kicked them all out. It's kind of a triple switch.
Look at the defense.
And now a steal. This could be fun.
This has to remain the same. Oh.
Turn shipping to your advantage with greater affordability.
Play great. If we're going to win this game tonight.
Introducing Ultimate Speed from Comcast Business. It's our fastest internet plans yet.
Almost out on our fastest speed plans yet. Switch to Comcast Business and get started for $49.99 a month. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card. Call today.
Defense has to remain the same. Gobert has to be on the lookout for those sneaky inside passes.
Towns shuffling towards space, lobbing it up to Gobert. Who blew the bunny? Another chance. Towns can't finish. Tapped out to McDaniels.
Like J-Mac does.
A 7-0 Minnesota run.
Too bad.
Towns the fake, the take, and the slam. And when I tell you that outstanding coach, he's going to get his opportunity. So I know Finch has a lot of belief in him. That's why he can sit back there and be quiet.
You see that soft touch on that roll?
Gets the roll.
See that nice finger, the nice floater he shot?
Towns will can't hit.
Now, Cat can't just chuck up a bunch of shots. Like, Cat has to remain consistent.
Rebound kept alive. Conley to Edwards. Corner three is good. And Edwards was grimacing a little bit after that last possession.
Do y'all see what I see? Hold on. I think I look a little too small. Let me. Is there any way I can edit this? Is there anything I can edit this? Hold on. Let me just. There we go. See if I can make myself a little thicker. Okay. But y'all see what I'm seeing, though, right? Y'all see what I'm saying, man. Y'all see how they got on that little mini run? But then we just started scoring. We need to keep scoring like they do, man. That's how the Timberwolves going to win this game. Defense, take advantage of Rudy when he gets a mismatch, and take advantage of the fact that they still going to leave J-Mac wide open like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he only averaged 7 points a game during this series, and that's not good. You know, he needs to step up and be a fringe 20 points per game scorer. Fringe, meaning like if he's like on that borderline, like averaging 18 a game or averaging 17 a game, that's good enough because, you know, Ant's going to do most of the damage as he does always. Cat has to score 20 plus. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to react to all the game because we don't have that much time. But yeah. In the meantime, there's another elephant in the room I want to address. We'll go back to YouTube in a minute. Hold on. Let me go to. Let me go here to NFL playoff predictor real quick because, as you can see, I got my Vikings shirt on. So we're going to talk about my Vikes too. Just to get it out the way. Okay? Just to get it out the way. And we're going to react to other people that have put out some we're going to react to other people that put out some commentary too, okay? Do I want to make it like this? No. All right. Let me see. All right. Hopefully my camera size is big enough. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can. Put a 2 in the chat if you can't. Let's see. Where do I need to go? I don't want to. Let me just go and I'm gonna try to see if I can simplify it to just the Vikings because the schedule did get released. Okay. Let me see. I just want to focus on the Vikings, man. I screw the other teams. I'll cover the other teams on a week-by-week basis. Okay, there we go. Whew. I mean, the schedule does look a bit brutal early on. I'll admit, the schedule does look a lot brutal early on. But the way I see it, man, I wish we could side-by-side the video like we could side-by-side like other people. Like, let me see. Can we do this? No, we can't. Okay. That's all right. Man. Sorry. Cortana popped up with some, but all right. See, look at this. Look at all this. Look at all this. Look at all this. Some of these games could go either way, you know. However, that doesn't mean we take every opponent lightly. Let's just, if there's anything I do not like that the Vikings did last year was play down to their competition. And I don't like that. So I think the Vikings can beat the Giants because let's just face facts. Week 1, you know, going into the Giants' home field, you know, we've been in that territory before. We've beaten the Giants before on their home field during the regular season. We know Daniel Jones isn't all that when he goes up against average to a semi-elite defense. So, and on top of that, they don't really have a crop of receivers like that. Like the only good reliable target that Daniel Jones has is Darren Waller. You know what I'm saying? Not going to sleep with the Giants defense with Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau, but their secondary does look hecka weak compared to what we have. And like at least we have a starting level corner in Byron Murphy and Shaq Griffin and Who else? Who else do we have? We have Mekhi Blackman, who I think should start. But I don't mind Kyrie Jackson starting because Kyrie Jackson looks like he's going to be a viable piece to the Vikings D. You know what I'm saying? As the Vikings D, I expect it to still remain as gritty and as tough, despite us losing Danielle Hunter in free agency because he went out and got that bag. So, yeah, I'm gonna chalk this up as a W. I mean, we've beaten the 49ers at US Bank Stadium before, and I think we can do it again. Plus, they just lost Arik Armstead. That's going to do numbers. I mean, we could easily go like 5-0 during our first 5 games. But, however, law of averages, I mean, 49ers are tougher, so I'm going to take that as a loss. Us hosting the Texans, however, I think because we're at home, we have a slight advantage, so I'm gonna take the Vikes. I mean, not that I don't like what C.J. Stroud is doing over there. Not that I don't respect the defense. I just think that, they've never been in an environment like ours. I'm not sure how they can handle the US Bank Stadium crowd turning up. I'm not sure if CJ Stroud can handle our fan base. So, I have a split in with every division opponent. So I'm gonna give whoever's at home the win when it comes to the division games. Except for probably the first Lions one. But yeah, this one's going to be at London, so I'm going to take that as a win because London's basically been home field advantage for us for years. Let me see. Ready? Anybody commented? No. Off the bye. I mean, we've had a couple weeks to prepare for the Lions, so I mean, I guess we could take it, but either one of them is interchangeable. LA on Thursday. Come to think of it, we don't have to deal with Aaron Donald anymore, so we could potentially win. I'm not sure how we're gonna deal with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp though. Tyler Higbee, that's gonna be a tough ask. Our defense going against their offense, I'm not too confident on. But I'm confident on this offense putting up points against their defense. So there's going to be an offensive shootout for sure. But if I'm counting on anybody's defense to show up this game, it's going to be the Vikings. And 3 straight NFC South opponents, I think we can landslide these 3 as victories. Let's see. And remember, prime time, but we don't have Kirk Cousins as a quarterback anymore. Keep that in mind. At Chicago, I mean, I think we're on a winning. I think potentially the winning streak could get snapped over here. But like I said, with division games, I'm going to give the home team the king, whoever's the home team, the game. But those division games can be interchangeable. We can beat the Cards. I definitely think we can beat the Falcons. And I definitely think we can beat the Bears. No Pete Carroll, no problem. However, if there is predicted rain in Seattle, the Seahawks will win. So I think the Seahawks might snap it. But we go back up home to US Bank and be back in our winter ways and take off and knock off Green Bay. Then we end our last game losing to the Lions, which may or may not be for the division because I think the division is going to fall down through to Green Bay and Detroit, and we might just get like a 6-seed wild card spot. So yeah, I have a 12-5, but it could easily be reversed to 5-12. Now, do I expect us to win any playoff games? No. Do I expect us to go to the playoffs? Yes, no, maybe. But we'll see. Okay. I mean, let's just say the quarterback play is not that good, and some situations could occur, and we lose one to the Texans, and and the Jets D is just that good. We just happen to lose our first game in London. We happen to get swept by the Lions. We happen to lose to LA. Things like that could happen. You know what I'm saying? Or hell, we get so caught up in our britches that we don't pressure Kirk Cousins and he gets their offense cooking, and then we lose to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these games go either way. We could finish 7-10 again. You know what I mean? But I had 12-5 initially because I do have faith, because we're not that bereft of talent. Like, we are a very good team talent-wise. That's why, like, outside of the quarterback position, we are a very good team. So that's why I say, we can win a lot of these games. You feel me? We can win a lot of these games. But yeah, the division games are 50-50 balls. But the schedule doesn't look all that hard, because at least we don't got to go to Philly and face the Eagles again in the regular season. At least we don't have to and at least we don't have to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers either. So yeah, that's it. 12-5. Let's go see what some other Vikings fans think. I did not react to Andy's video though. So I'm gonna react to Andy's video first, and then I'll probably replay the live stream that I missed for Rap. Shout out Rap from Vocal Vike. He a cold piece, man. But let's see what Andy thinks. Because think about it. The Vikings, talent wise, we have a very good roster. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, quarterback situation could swing the pendulum a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm hearing reports that Darnold is looking good under our system, and JJ Mack looks pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's just watch the predictions. Watch some predictions. I'm gonna put it on full screen for y'all as soon as it adds.
Goodbye, Speed Demon.
Oh, we get it. It's hard to say goodbye to your car. AutoNation is here to make it easy for you. To see how much your car is worth and get top dollar fast, visit AutoNation.com or see
I feel like the defense is going to be carrying this team. Our offense, we still got some things to figure out, because we don't know if Sam Darnold's going to start or if J.J. McCarthy's going to start. But at least we got rid of Kirk. Hey, we done with the Kirk era.
What's going on, Jerome's? It's a beautiful Thursday. Birds are chirping and stuff. And the NFL schedule officially dropped last night, but really leaked out before noon is what it is. So whenever the schedule drops, it's fun to go through and be like, that's a win, dog. That's a loss. And then tally up how you think the team is going to do. Now, again, I fully understand that we are not everyone's cup of tequila. And
I laugh every time I see this meme.
So funny. So new viewers will come in. They don't get the bit. The piss and moan is like, I've been a Vikings fan for 42 years. That's all, man. Like, again, fully understand we're not for everyone. And honestly, if you're mad about it, just go somewhere else. I mean, if you want full on negativity, there's lots of other outlets. Just go there. Like, honestly, that's one of the reasons why I team over quantity. So honestly, if you're not gonna buy into the bit, just cut it out. Deuces. See ya. So first up, it's at the Giants, Meadowlands. Daniel Jones, Malik Neighbors, Brian Daboll, Joe Shine trying to hang on to their jobs. And I don't know, man. First game, Kevin O'Connell trying to get revenge for the wild card loss a couple years ago. And who's going to be starting quarterback, right? So is going to be JJ, is going to be slinging Sam Darnold. And of course, Justin freaking Jefferson. Hopefully he's going to be weighed down by buttloads of money in his buttload is an official measurement in his pockets with that long-term.
Yeah, that's another thing. Justin Jefferson still needs to get paid. He's the best wide receiver in the league. He should be paid now, but maybe they're still in discussions of it because JJ's contract hasn't been that high on their priority list pre-draft. So now that the draft and free agency is over, maybe they can focus on that. But then again, free agency never ends.
Extension, but it's kind of fun. It is kind of fun. Opening the season in New Jersey. Now that turf is garbage and always will be, and it's probably the worst stadium in the league. But other than that,
it's not that.
I do go march in to New Jersey and come out with a win.
Yep, had that other win too.
1-0 on the season, nailed it.
Like I said before, the Giants are bereft of talent in certain areas, especially on offense. So, like they lost Saquon, and I don't think Thurman Shepard is not that guy. And I think they've been cut Kenny Golladay too. The only real threats are Neighbors, and I mean, if he gets Isaiah Hodgins and then Darren Waller. Other than that, man, expect Daniel Jones to toss us a couple of them INTs, man.
Now, again,
or get a couple.
I'm a spreadsheet jockey, but I don't know all of the equations. I know this is a really easy one to do the record as I type in like if W then 1. Don't care. Next up, week 2, home opener against the San Francisco 49ers. So Brock Purdy, the alleged reigning defending NFC champions, with Debo and McCaffrey and Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall is coming in. It's going to be tough. I mean, Niners on defense are still stout, and they probably should have won the Super Bowl last year, but they didn't. Got them. Also, so I want to know, again, go back to the Super Bowl. So half of the Niners players didn't know the overtime rules in the playoffs. If they would have scored a touchdown on the opening drive in overtime, would they have celebrated like they won the Super Bowl and then looked like horses' asses when the confetti wasn't falling? I kind of wish we could have been able to see that. Again, Kyle Juszczyk, who went to Harvard, which is not Winona State, the Harvard of the Midwest. He said he didn't know that.
Y'all know Andy Slag. He's got a Wolves jersey and a Vikings hat. I have a Wolves hat and a Vikings shirt.
Overtime rules. Now, again, we're trying to take off our Homer hat. Just this one's gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. San Francisco's gonna be motivated. They want revenge. They want vengeance. Open up 1-1. Sort of is what it is. Next up, week 3, Texans are gonna be tough too. CJ Stroud is that dude, and yeah, that's the Daniil Hunter, Stephon Diggs bull. You know they're going to be amped up early on in the season, so Diggs will actually be interested in not tweeting out nonsense probably at this time of the year. Also, it's a chance for Gennard and Gennard, Cashman, Grugier Hill, Jihad, as well as Shaq Griffin. We're doing so many freaking former Texans. Get a shot at their old team, but it's gonna be tough. I mean, yeah, but good teams all along this schedule.
Texas,
and it is what it is. And by this time, like again, who's gonna be starting? Is it gonna be Darnold? They're still gonna roll with Darnold. Like, how long is his leash? Does he have until the bye week to prove that he can do a little something? Or is it McCarthy out of the gates? Is it trial by fire? We'll see. The greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers early on in the season. Now, it's kind of nice getting the Green Bay game out of the way early, so weather is not a factor later on in the season. Although, again, the Vikings were the original weather team back when they played at Met Stadium. Bug rant. Come on, man.
Yeah,
but
we were.
The Packers, yes, everyone's all up on their ass because of Jordan Love. Everyone, blah, 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 14-year-old boy, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Do not care. And also, I don't care who's under center either. Oh, when the Vikings go into Green Bay and whoop some ass. That's right. Getting a 2-2 on the season.
I think we can.
We're heading across the pond.
Look, I'm not sleeping on their offensive ability. I mean, despite the fact that they don't have a true number one proven receiver, but their receivers played well enough for Jordan Love to get his fill. And on top of that, they just added Josh Jacobs, and that offensive line is pretty stout. That's why I say the Packers could beat us in Lambeau. You know what I'm saying? The defense is still going to carry them, despite them taking a step back because they lost Devondre Campbell. And that middle of the field is going to be left to get chewed up and spat out. You know what I'm saying?
A Rumper Bones, Calcium Sun. So Bo Neva, leader of the Jets for now. Again, the Vikings and the Jets renewing the dumbest
division games are hard to predict.
It's so funny how many people didn't get the Dalvin Cook joke from yesterday's the London game. The Vikings Vikings versus Jets or just yards. People were just actually Dalvin is a free agent. He was on the Ravens last year. He's no longer an employee of the Jets.
Yeah, I was about to say he not even a Jet no more. Crazy. That would have been a perfect review game. $750. We have Sam Darnold, who the Jets drafted, and then like I'm trying to remember. The Vikings
again. I honestly kind of want this channel just to say the same size because I just love entertaining myself.
The Vikings have Tyler Conklin because Conklin used to play for us. Do the Jets still have him? Or did they let him go for CJ Uzomah? Okay, he's still on the Jets. Got it.
Not gonna lie. All right, so the Jets in London, Jets defense is going to be legitimate. Offensively, I'm still not buying into that O-line, and I don't think that it's going to gel early on into the season.
Yeah,
yes, they do have talent, but will they form a cohesive unit? I have my doubts. I think the Flores get some heat on Boniva, and Bird Bones crumbles, and the Vikings get to the bye week at 3-2. Now, early bye week kind of sucks. Ideally, you want it later on in the season, and as we said, again, league sort of screw the Vikings in that the bye week is right next to Thursday Night Football, so you have that mini bye in the same month in October. But nah. Then week 7, hosting the Lions. It's gonna be a big time game, and the Lions are going to be tough until they start losing players because they can't afford to pay them because of the cap. I was told that the cap was not a myth. You know, when the Vikings had Kirk Cousins, the Vikings going to lose Justin Jefferson because of the Kirk Cousins contract. Shut up. Shut your face, shut your mouth. Vikings get to 4-2 in the season. Really good at math. So hold and serve at home. Happens.
We're going to
short week out in LA. The Rams are going to be good.
Like, even without Lions aren't that tough. I'm gonna just be honest. They'll mentally take themselves out of games at times. Like, they're gonna go up against tougher competition too because they got to play the Eagles. They got to play the Buccaneers, who they almost lost to in the playoffs. They got to go play the who finished in the. They got to play all the NFC West teams, and the Rams and the Niners aren't gimme games. Let's just be honest. The Rams and the Niners are gonna. They almost lost to the Rams. They lost to the Niners in the NFC Championship. And they almost lost to Tampa Bay. They got to play them again. They also got to play the Eagles. So yeah, it's tight. It's tight on the Lions this year. But this will prove if the Lions are really for real about winning the Super Bowl or not.
Aaron Donald, the Rams are going to be good. And it is the Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell Bowl, but, you know. So, tough. After a big-time emotional home division win against the Lions.
Yeah, but LA, that one could go either way. I would say who would depend on which defense shows up. And I have more faith in the O'Connell offense showing up and the Flores defense showing up than the Rams defense. But it's all about how whoever is under center handles primetime.
Vikings come up just a little bit short in La La Land, moved to 4-3 on the season, but still, you're feeling good about things. You're feeling aight as you head into November. Colts at home. Anthony Richardson is a bad.
Oh yeah, no more Kirktober memes.
Bad dude. He is a bad man. Also, Latu on that defensive side of the ball. Latu versus Turner, the top 2 edge rushers in this class, going at it. But I think the Vikings do find a way to get it done. Hold serve at home.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moved to 5-3 on the season, heading into a 3-game road trip, and between weeks 8 and 12, they have 4 out of 5 games on the road, and then the flip-flops for the home stretch after week 13. So, Jaguars team are going to get. And I want to buy into Trevor Lawrence, except he hasn't made that leap. I don't know that if he's the future franchise guy. And also Doug.
Hey, look, he won a playoff game against Justin Herbert. That's all the proof I need.
I mean, Doug was supposed to be the quarterback whisperer to get the most out of Trevor Lawrence. And 2022 was fine. 2023, yeah.
Trevor.
But the Vikings marched down to Northeast Florida and get a.
The only thing that scares me about the Jaguars is their defense.
Win and move to 6-3 on the season. Vikings at the Titans. So we rank this as our 1-1 trip in terms of ranking the road games, not counting London because that's a separate thing. So, I mean, Nashville in November, weather is still aight. Music is great. The beers are cold. The barbecue is fantastic as well. So, yeah, head down to Nashville. But Vikings at Titans, hey, their offensive line should be good to go. Love me some Bill Callahan, but okay, like no Derrick Henry, check. They got Calvin Ridley, bet, and also Tyler Boyd. Congratulations. But Will Levis, we're going to be after that ass, man. We are going to be absolutely after that ass. And Jeffrey Simmons, hopefully he doesn't live in the Vikings backfield, but the Vikings Road Warriors get another win, move to 7-3 on the season. November 24th. So the Bears could be looking ahead to their Thanksgiving matchup against.
Like I said, a lot of these games are winnable, but this all is dependent on our offense.
It's a line Lions. But the Bears, first crack at Caleb Williams, at Rome Odunze. I mean, the Bears season could go either way. Like, the Bears may start out hot and pan out on some of that hype that the media is shoving up their ass, or they could just fall flat and be the Bears. But I don't know, like the Vikings, that was such a weird thing about Soldier Field, right? And I think that this will be a game of attrition. I think that McCarthy will be in by this point if he didn't start the season. So it will be a showdown between the rookie quarterbacks. And I think both put on a show. And also, McCarthy being a Chicagoland area kid, this is a bit of a homecoming for him. But I think the Vikings do take a tumble here in division on the road, move to 7-4.
Fair enough.
Again, hey. Who's sipping the purple Kool-Aid? Just taking a line of it. Start off December at home against the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, the Vikings have this awesome tour of a bunch of the rookie studs. It's gonna be great. So the Cardinals coming into US Bank Stadium. I think that Brian Flores finds a way to make Kyler play left-handed and basically take away Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson gonna burn you? Nah.
Yeah, like you also got to deal with Trey McBride because he's a solid tight end too for them. Marvin Harrison Jr. ain't the only threat. But in general, though, the Cardinals are still very bereft of talent. So, yeah.
Vikings moved to 8-4 on the season. Random mouse after beating the Cardinals. And then, of course, it's time for Kurt versus the Vikings. Sorry, revenge game narratives, all that stuff. Kurt returns to US Bank Stadium now. I don't know how Vikings fans are going to react to Kurt, because I feel like a significant portion of the fan base always thought that he was just a money-grubbing mercenary. And like, he values loyalty, but if some other place valued loyalty more, he would go to that place. But I don't know. I feel like he was eyed for a hot stretch. I feel like his family endeared themselves to the great state of Minnesota. So little cheer at the beginning, and then boo, a bit boo. All the boos, man. But I think the Vikings actually boat race the Falcons.
Where everybody has this game up as a loss, from what I hear. But no, I don't think Kirk and the Falcons are going to light us up that bad.
I mean, the Falcons' offense is going to be decent. That defense has no pieces. And Raheem Morris, I love Raheem.
They have AJ Terrell,
but there's no talent on that side of the ball outside of Jesse Bates. So, and Terrell. Yeah, mm-hmm. But. Yeah, I think the Vikings put up numbers. I think the Vikings beat the Falcons for the second year in a row. Then Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. So this could be the dark mode game. Do the Vikings have all black uniforms? I guess we'll find out. Or are they just going to shut the lights off and give everyone flashlights? Who knows? Also, who knows? But Vikings avenge the earlier loss to the Bears. And the Vikings get it done at home in their lone home primetime game, moving to spicy 10-4 on the season. Seahawks, whatever. Always on the road against the Seahawks. Moved to 10-5. Last two games of the season.
I had that as a loss.
So you got the Packers at home, and then you're at the Detroit Lions. But the Vikings, they bring it. They bring that heat, man. So we're going to say the Vikings hold serve at home, take care of the Packers. They drop one on the road against the Lions. The Lions may be fighting for a playoff spot at this time. So the Vikings rolling into the postseason at 11.
Okay, he's got them at 11-6. I mean, we could finish till 5 because that's what I predicted. I mean, ceiling 13 wins, 14 wins ceiling. My floor though is gonna be 5-12. Like, a lot of these games could go like the other way and just go completely belly up. You know what I'm saying? JJ Mack could be a bust, but I doubt it. And I don't even know if we're going to start J.J. Mack right away either. There's a lot of things we got to factor in, but I'm going to see what happens during the regular season. Let me see. Let me see what Vokovic and the rest of the crew said. I took my phone off the charger. Doggone it. Okay, let me start off. Let me get some music in here. Where's? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna skip that one because we're not doing Diddy anymore. Okay, let me see. What does the panel think? I'm not gonna watch this whole entire stream. I just want to get their ideas on what the division is gonna be like.
Defense is probably the best defense we've had since 2019, and I think he's going to have something dialed up for him. And this is second year underneath Flores, and I think even Sam Darnold, who I'm calling Sam.
I think it's gonna be tough to beat a team like the 49ers who are already kind of have their identity. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got the L, man. Unfortunately, it's an L.
Okay, cool.
I am gonna go on the other end of things. I think it's a win. I do.
Let's go.
Of me. I don't think it's gonna be like a shutout or anything to mirror the other guys. It's definitely going to be a close game. I think ultimately we were able to stay pretty competitive and win the game against them last season, but we didn't have JJ. So Justin Jefferson, I should specify now. Right. We didn't have Jefferson last time. And so I think now that he's going to be back and healthy, I think that'll definitely help on our side of things. I think some of the adjustments that we've made on defense, 100% will have Brock Purdy sort of stressed in that pocket there. I think ultimately it'll probably come down to a field goal, maybe a touchdown, but ultimately I got this for a win for our boys. I'm hopeful to at least even the Skull Fest for you guys, so it's not 0-2.
Let's go. All right, what you thinking, Dave?
After Sam VP killing it in the first game, he comes back down to earth. This may be where we change quarterbacks after this one.
To be this guy again, but I got to give the L. I mean, it's a tough matchup, especially with, and this year it feels so.
Anyone left 3-0 then? Okay, all right.
Now that we got the hard part of the schedule out of the way.
Yeah. Sam VP's taking a 3-0 through week 3, so we're good.
Let's go. Okay, now to the next game here. And what week were we at? Week 4? Week 4.
You got to think about the division.
Lambeau Field against the Packers like? And Jordan Love, who obviously we all know is extremely overrated. Yeah. What do we all think? Starting with
Rap, are we going on a run here? We're gonna go on a run here.
The run is about to start, brother.
The start of it.
Again, I like the fact that we're playing in Green Bay earlier in the season. I mean, it broke that streak of having to play there constantly in the cold. I believe, what was this, 3 years now? We played them pretty early on there, maybe 2 or 3 years in a row. Jordan Love will take a step back, and their plethora of number 2 wide receivers with no legitimate number 1 option. Sure, they got some new running backs and their defense is solid, but we're sweeping the Packers this year. I'm calling it right now. So this is an easy.
Wow. Even this panel thinks we're gonna sweep the Packers. Look, I'll believe when I see it. I think we still split. You know what I'm saying?
Easy W in Green Bay.
Yeah. This is a dub. This is a dub for sure, man. First, man, and real quick, I want to shout out everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in with us tonight, man. We got a ton of people in the building, so we appreciate that for sure. We just want to make sure we do see y'all, man. Stay active, you heard? But look, this is a W right here, man. First of all, I'm never picking. I don't care if they have Brett Favre on the teams. They're like, I'm never picking the Packers beating us. So.
I mean, I understand his spirit as a Vikings fan.
So this is a win for sure. The run is about to begin, and honestly, I can second what Casey said. I don't think Jordan Love's going to be that good.
See, look. They went on a deep playoff run last year, though. That's what they're forgetting. I'm not trying to cape for the Packers or Jordan Love because I'm a Vikings fan, but I don't think it's cool that we underestimate the run that they had. Let's not underestimate that. They could easily do that this oncoming year. But maybe, who knows? Maybe we actually expose them because we have film on J Love now.
I'm not worried about them. I think our defense is going to win this game. I think it'll be a gritty game. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything.
Yeah, it'll come down to whose defense does their job best. And I think we can shut the Packers down.
Like, high scoring. It'll probably be like a defensive type game, but we'll come out on top. We will come out on top. So this is a dub for me, for sure.
Also a dub. And I think for me, the reason I decided it's a dub is because if we've learned anything from last season, it's that Jordan Love takes a little bit to gas up, to get there. And I think...
Yeah, Jordan is one of those passes where he needs to get hot a few times. He needs to get some completions in a row first, and then he'll turn up.
Again, you know, having JJ back and the fact half frozen, half mushy grass, whatever the heck Lambeau Field wants to call it, I think all of those combined are going to create kind of the perfect storm for us to win. I like giving Jordan Love his accolades. I think that when the time calls for it, he can step up. But like I said, last season, if we've learned anything, it takes him a little bit to get there. And I mean, J.A. does have to visit his son Jaheir Alexander, so gotta give Jordan Addison at least 3 touchdowns on this.
Jaheir Alexander can't even shut down JJ. What makes you think he can't shut down Justin Jefferson? Well, he can't even shut down Jordan Addison. You know, if they're gonna put him on Justin Jefferson, he's still gonna cook because he only plays press when he knows he has help over top. He only does that when he's one-on-one. He gets baked. Like, oh.
Let's go.
Let me show y'all something.
Well, 2 years in a row, one of our players.
Watch. Hold on. Let me show y'all something.
Building your online business?
I wish these would stop.
Go to Wix.com and set up.
Oh, hold on, right. Let me pull this back a little bit.
Packers show blitz. They back on.
Wow.
Cousins,
Beat him in the inside.
It's
Forcing everybody.
And a first down for Minnesota.
I mean, watch this route, AB. He's going to start
outside
and watch at the top stick and separate.
I mean, we know Eric Stokes isn't good, but
they call that getting vertical at the top of the break.
Jefferson's route running.
Jefferson, he can play in the slot. He can play out wide. He's phenomenal. Best in the league on third down. You saw it first third down of the year. Designed just for this situation.
Flat.
Cousins got a throw near side, caught for the touchdown. Jefferson.
You can't put Stokes against him. If they put Stokes or Jared against him, he loses. If they put Stokes or Jared against him, they're getting cooked. And I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show you Jordan Addison too, but like. Look, the Packers have no answer for Jay Jetter's one-on-one. They have no answer for him one-on-one.
Flat defender.
Right. Can't find it. Look
at that. They're going to dump on everybody.
No! Jefferson got his hands on it, couldn't bring it in bounds. And a 4th and 2 and another decision for Kevin O'Connell.
Looks like he's going to go for it. Let's take a look here. He's trying to drag.
One
left.
Yeah,
he's out of
just have that.
Just couldn't quite use.
When he found out that Kevin and Justin in game 1 here, I also talked.
Yeah, just couldn't.
Excitement when it started with Cooper. Didn't want to just ready in every position.
All of a sudden, they
maximize his talent, a la Cups. Green Bay still has a timeout. All of a sudden, they maximize his talent, a la Cups. Green Bay still has
right there. Look, you see how off he's playing? Look at that. Look at that distance. Look, you can't leave Jettas that much room to cook, man. Watch. You see this? You see how off they play? Look at this. Look at all that space.
It's a timeout. All of a sudden, they steal a possession. Near side, Jefferson again. Makes another grab and has enough.
Zone, my boy. You shouldn't have been in zone, my boy.
Their first down for Minnesota. He picks up 12 more. Just a simple route here. We mentioned on the other side of the ball, the voids of this defense is out here in the flat. We've seen Green Bay try to exploit it on Minnesota's defense, but we've seen Kirk Cousins be able to have a lot of room to work out there. This time it was Rasul Douglas earlier in the game. We saw Quay kind of struggle getting out there in the flat. Find a way to get closer to these receivers and close down these.
He's playing off because he knows his name. Look at this. Y'all see what I'm seeing, right? Playing too off, man.
Cushions. Cousins over the middle. How is he that wide open? Jefferson again inside
what
the 10.
What was Jared doing? Jared was looking dead at him.
For the end zone. Touchdown.
Y'all get my point. We're not going to watch this whole thing. Hold on. Let me see something else.
The outside linebacker, Preston Smith, based on this formation, he has to walk and play that slot receiver. Just a good play design. Simple. Get a great matchup and set yourself up for a third manageable here.
We're going to watch one more highlight.
Any particular matchup we want with formation and pre-snap motion.
Look.
See Kirk Cousins fixing the motion here.
Now he wants to press up. Because, look, he has him over top. Now he wants to press up.
Needed Dalvin Cook to go the other way. He's got one-on-one here at the bottom of the screen. 3rd and 4. Cousins floating. Jefferson. He caught it as he is. There's a penalty flag, too. Justin's everything. I don't know if he was in, but there's a penalty flag. Let's see who it's on. I think they're going to
pass interference.
Yeah.
Offense number 18. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Now, the first thing he's done wrong all night. Yeah, this is a matchup we've thought we'd see more of. Maybe something in the second half. Putting Jair.
Look at that. He had to do that.
Alexander on.
And look how
Justin
he's grabbing
Jefferson.
him. Look how he's grabbing him.
Let's see what they call here. Yeah, I guess they're saying he got a little extended. I thought that was kind of light. What'd you think, Mike?
Yeah, it was a BS call, but Jared knew he had to hack.
Well, I agree with you. You look for 2 arms and a full extension. You can see a bit of it there, but is it really
match up if Justin Jefferson just played out well? But I don't think Joe Barry wants to get Jair Alexander in that nickelback, that slot position, because that's a big run tackle, run fit type position.
In development, he's worked his way up in this business quickly. Cousins, floating one. Jefferson hauls it in.
Toasting everybody. Let me see. And look, Jordan Addison, look. Alexander can't even guard Jair, bro.
We might not have a couch yet, but we got internet.
Don't tell Mom.
Smooth.
Come here, boy. He has a terrible change of direction. Dealing with situations that can change direction at the drop of a hat, man. They're talking about those. Look at that. Look how he's still holding on to him like he did. Down there. This dude can't even guard Xavier. Look at that. Eat him on a fade. This dude can't even guard this rookie. This is Jordan Addison rookie. Look at him all salty. I think not. Y'all see my point, man. And we're gonna go into some funner stuff. Let's go ahead and react to some TPS. Most overrated? Okay, let's watch this one. Since we're talking about the NFL, why not?
Let's go do this together. It takes everybody now. It takes everybody. Let's go, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Quarterback is the most important position in football. Moves the needle more than just about any other position in any other given sport. Naturally, it's easy for folks to overhype and overrate quarterbacks who put up above average numbers. But truth be told, there are too many notable NFL QBs who get far more recognition and credit than they really deserve. So, with that being said, how about we dive into the 10 most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL right now, heading into the 2024 season. Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott wasn't the quarterback of America's team, then...
How old is Dak? 32 now? 32, 31? And he still hasn't, he still has a below 500 playoff record too, right?
Heck, perhaps he'd be rated rationally. Just imagine if number 4 was on a small market team like the Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars, or Atlanta Falcons instead. But when you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you're always going to receive far more hype, media coverage, and attention.
Yeah, a lot of people say he wouldn't receive this much hate if he was on any other team but the Cowboys. But my thing is, would any other, I think any other organization, given his stats, would pay him as much as the Cowboys, if not maybe a little lesser than he gets paid if he was the Dallas being a part of the Dallas Cowboys. Because he do put up nice regular season numbers. Except for that 1 year where he led the league in interceptions thrown. But other than that, he plays solid during the regular season. He'll get you that 10-win marker. You know what I'm saying? When he's on, he's on.
And then others.
When it counts,
just ask Prescott and the guys before him, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, and Tony Romo. Because Prescott puts up Pro Bowl numbers every year on a big market team like Dallas, he's developed a reputation as an MVP caliber and superstar level quarterback. They're not star quarterback.
As much as I appreciate him being a black quarterback, he doesn't hold a candle to any of his predecessors in a Cowboy uniform. My late uncle would tell you that in a heartbeat.
Quarterbacks are always judged by their performances in the postseason. And to be perfect.
Let me pull up my shorts.
Save during the Best Buy Memorial Day sale.
Perfectly blunt. Jeez, dude. Prescott has just been unwatchable in the playoffs, despite being blessed with a star-studded supporting cast.
Hey, last year, we know what happened. They ran it at Green Bay.
is 2-5 in the postseason for his career with 14 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. His quarterback rating drops from a superb 99.0 in the regular season to 91.8 in the playoffs. Last season, Patrick Mahomes lifted the Kansas City Chiefs to a Super Bowl championship with a very lackluster set of wide receivers. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, and Matthew Stafford have put up all-world numbers and fared much better in the playoffs than Prescott. With a top 5 offense and a top 10 defense every year, Prescott had 2 wins in 8 seasons as Dallas' starting QB. He's great for you if you want to win fantasy leagues, but this is not a guy who can
lie. Yeah, he puts up great numbers, but he's not going to get you much playoff success.
Push his team over the top. That, folks, is what we call an overrated quarterback. Jalen Hurts. Is Hurts...
Hey. To be fair, though, started off average, had a monster year, went back down to being average. Let's see if he can ascend back up. I wouldn't call him overrated quite yet, but we'll see if he's able to bounce the Eagles back, in which he should, because the NFC East winner, it always changes every year.
A good quarterback. Yes. Is he rated too highly compared to the likes of Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson? Absolutely. Before A.J. Brown's arrival in 2000,
I personally would consider Jalen Hurts a tier below those 4.
2022, Hurts was a meh quarterback at best. In 2021, his first full year as a starter, Hurts had 3,144 yards and 16 touchdowns against 9 interceptions. Those Eagles had the league's best O-line by far and the NFL's #1 rushing offense, and yet Hurts was absolutely annihilated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the wildcard round. Hurts had an MVP-like season in 2022 and would have likely led the Eagles to a Super Bowl 57 championship if not for the tacky holding call against James Bradbury. But
well, now we know what his kryptonite is. Tampa Bay, because he lost to him again.
Wait, didn't Hurts have the league's best receiving duo that year in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? Not to mention 1,000-yard rusher Miles Sanders, standout tight end Dallas Goedert, the league's best O-line, and the NFL's 8th best scoring defense. When the Eagles were hit by the injury bug in 2023, Hurts was nowhere close to his MVP form. He suddenly became a turnover machine and failed to elevate his team during a miserable second-half collapse that culminated with an embarrassing wildcard round loss to Tampa Bay. If you take away all of Hurts' short yardage rushing scores through the tush-push, his stats would look a lot less MVP caliber. Now that Jason Kelce's gone, just how effective will that tush-push be? Also, let us remind you that Hurts' 2 playoff wins to date are against Daniel Jones's New York Giants and a San Francisco 49ers team that was forced to put in running back Christian McCaffrey at QB. Wow, very impressive.
Okay, to that point, yeah, maybe he's a little overrated. Now that I heard that.
We'd like to see Hurts carry the team on his back for once to reconsider his place here. He just looks like an above-average guy who is benefiting from the lead supporting cast across the board. Trevor Lawrence. T-Law was regarded as a generational QB prospect when he went first overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2021. If he is indeed generational...
advertisements. Come on, man. Load so I can skip it.
Look at these humans just walking past the chance to save nearly $750. Hey, you!
Get out of here, man.
Well, we're still waiting for him to show it. We're going to excuse his 2021 rookie year because Urban Meyer single-handedly ruined everything that year. Yeah. If you focus on what Lawrence has done since Doug Peterson became head coach in 2022, however, well, the results are merely average. 17 wins, 16 losses, 46 touchdown passes, and 22 interceptions. His lone playoff win, that epic 27-point comeback against the Los Angeles Chargers, come on, let's be...
Sorry, Chargers.
Be real. The Bolts handed that to the Jaguars on a silver platter. I mean, Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in that game, for crying out loud. Tough to ignore also that with the AFC South crown almost locked up last year, that Lawrence lost his final 5 starts, with 7 picks during that span. Dude couldn't even beat a weak Titans team in a must-win Week 18 game. Lawrence has been solid at his peak, but nothing close to MVP caliber. He has been maddeningly inconsistent to begin his...
Can we say that T-Law is a bust? Question mark.
Career. So I think it's time to remove that superstar label from him is one. Derek Carr. It's pretty
Thank you.
Amazing to think that Carr has signed 3 separate deals worth over $100 million in his NFL career, despite 0 playoff wins and only 2 winning seasons as a quarterback. After a 9-year run with the Oakland/Las Vegas Raiders, Carr signed a massive 4-year deal with the New Orleans Saints worth $150 million. Carr put up stellar numbers on a Raiders team that never gave him a...
They overpaid for this guy so bad. It's laughable. And everybody wants to be shouting in my ears about how he was a fringe MVP until he got hurt that 1 year. My question is, what the hell has Derek Carr done since? Exactly.
Top 10 scoring defense. Not to mention that he had to work with 6 different head coaches there. But 2023 was a frustrating reminder that Carr is not the needle-moving QB that so many people seem to think he is. He joined a New Orleans team with a top 10 defense, an elite offensive line, and a dynamic set of weapons in football's worst division, no less. Yet Carr could only put up 3,878 passing yards and 25 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. And there were numerous instances where Jameis Winston had to come in for an injured Carr. And lo and behold, the Saints offense usually functioned better when Winston was throwing the ball. Carr just keeps scoring these big contracts, even though he's probably not a top 20 QB in the NFL anymore.
He really isn't, man. He is the top. He is the top 20 bag stealer, though.
If he doesn't cut it as New Orleans starter in 2024, well, don't be surprised if Carr has to finish his career out as a backup. Sure, he's closing in on 40,000 career passing yards and 250 passing TDs, but a 72-87-0 record with 0 playoff victories sort of speaks for itself. Overrated much? Kyler Murray. The first overall pick of 2019 is being paid like a superstar by the Arizona Cardinals, who handed Murray a $230.5 million extension in the 2022 offseason. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement that Murray brings because, you know, he does look like a superstar when he is on his game. He's got elite athleticism and oftentimes looks like a video game character with his slick mobility and ability to extend plays. But
I mean, I have little to no respect for Kyler Murray, man. Like, because of his level of respect for the profession he plays in, bro. Like, he said he just want to play Call of Duty, bro. Don't even mention anything about the weight room or nothing like that. He just want to go home and play Call of Duty, man. I'll never forget that. And they gave this dude $230.5 million?
But we're also talking about a guy here with a 28-36-1 record. He had to throw for 4,000 yards or 30 TDs in a season. His career interception percentage of 2.05 is even worse than Carson Wentz.
Besides, like, I don't think he's won a playoff game either, from my memory.
Ball people. And also other turnover-prone QBs like Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, and Derek Carr. And one needn't remind you of how much Murray's stats dropped off in 2021 following DeAndre Hopkins' injury. It's almost as if Murray can't play like a Pro Bowler without a top 5 wide receiver to throw to. And yeah, if
that's
the $230.5 million man would...
Kyler can't elevate his team like that, man.
Win his first career playoff game, then he might shed that overrated label. Geno Smith. Smith was a...
I'm not sure if Geno's overrated yet. I'd say he's fairly rated because nobody's talking about him like he's a top 10 QB. But hey, let's hear TPS out, okay? I'm not sure if I would say this about good old Geno.
In 2022, winning comeback player of the year honors after setting career highs across the board. That included a league best 69.8 completion percentage and 30 touchdown passes. Smith led the Seattle Seahawks to 9 wins and a surprise return to the postseason in year 1 of the post-Russell Wilson era. That led to Seattle giving Smith a 3-year contract extension worth $105 million. But let's not give the 2-time Pro Bowler more credit than he deserves. I mean, we're talking about a supporting cast of DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Zach Charbonnet. Even Drew Lock looked good in the 2 starts he made for Seattle last year. But such is life, again, when you have a deep set of weapons and can lean on your running game to win ball games. Kirk Cousins. To be honest...
we done with the Kirk era. We done with the Kirk era. We done with the Kirk era.
Cousins is hardly different than Dak Prescott. They are nice stat machines who consistently put up 4K passing yards and 30 TD seasons. Within the next couple of years, Cousins should hit 45,000 career passing yards and 300 touchdowns. But like Prescott, Cousins hasn't been able to carry the team on his back when it matters most. He is 1-3 as a starter in the postseason, with 2 of those losses coming as a favorite at home. Cousins is 16-47 in his career against teams with a winning record, and this is with elite talents like Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and Dalvin Cooks as his go-to weapons over those years. Consider that the Minnesota Vikings went to the 2017 NFC Championship game with Case freaking Keenum. They paid Cousins all that money to win one playoff game in 6 years?
Right, you're right. That basically sums it up, doesn't it? That's why I say we done with the Kirk era.
Okay, then. Good luck to the Atlanta Falcons, who just gave Cousins a 4-year deal worth $180 million. That includes $100 million.
The Falcons should know that they're not going to win anything. But hey, they threw all of that money at him just to get him there, just to be a bridge to Michael Penix Jr.
Of that being guaranteed. The Falcons will get nice passing stats out of Cousins and maybe one playoff win. But a Super Bowl run? Dream on. Brock Purdy. The 2022 Mr. Irrelevant is a feel-good story, no doubt. But, come on. Let's not act like Purdy is the reason behind the San Francisco 49ers' success. Yes, a 17-4 regular season record with 44 touchdowns and 15 picks through your first 2 seasons is impressive. Not to mention that Purdy was this close to leading the 49ers to a Super Bowl 58.
Ooh. I mean, I don't think Purdy will win.
A victory over the Chiefs. But let's keep this one simple. Purdy has the best set of weapons in the NFL. Rushing champion Christian McCaffrey, future Hall of Famer and tight end George Kittle, and 2 all-world receivers in Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. We've seen a ton of quarterbacks flourish in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Even Jimmy Garoppolo went to a Super Bowl and 2 NFC Championship games as the 49ers starting quarterback. And that guy's on his 3rd team in as many years. Purdy doesn't have to apologize for being in a great system, but you can't possibly believe that he'd be a great QB on some other team. He's just properly managing the 49ers' prolific offense as, well, a game manager. Deshaun Watson. Watson was a bona fide superstar during his run.
He is nowhere near as good as he was when he was the Texans.
With the Houston Texans. But he last played in H-Town 4 years ago, and we all got to stop thinking about the past. Watson has been a complete waste of money and assets ever since the Cleveland Browns made a blockbuster trade for him in 2022. The Browns gave up 3 first-round picks as part of the package for Watson before he signed a record-setting, fully guaranteed $230 million deal. A combination of suspensions and injuries have limited Watson to 12 starts over his first 2 years in Cleveland. He's completed less than 60% of pass attempts for 14 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Making matters even worse for Watson, the Browns' offense was better in 2022 with Jacoby Brissett before Watson took over, and their offense peaked with a 38-year-old Joe Flacco in 2023. So even with a top 5 O-line, a top 5 running back in Nick Chubb, and a star wideout Amari Cooper, Watson has put up mediocre numbers, while Brissett and Flacco looked like above-average dudes running that offense. Final verdict, you're overrated, Watson. Time to start living up to that deal if you want to regain your status as an elite quarterback.
They paid $230 million for this cat too.
Quarterback. Good luck with that. Tua Tagovailoa. It's harder.
Okay. Now this is actually kind of legitimate because I actually do believe that he's like average, but everybody's treating him like he's like this top 20, not top 20. I'm sorry, top 15, top 10 guy. But nah, he's average. The only reason why he's doing good because Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill carry that offense. Raheem Mostert, too, as a running back. But yeah, man.
I remember now, but Tagovailoa was once regarded as a can't-miss QB prospect back in 2019. He was the early and overwhelming favorite to go first overall in the 2020 NFL Draft, but a season-ending injury and the rise of Joe Burrow quickly changed that. Tagovailoa wound up going 5th overall to the Miami Dolphins in 2020. He was the second QB taken after Burrow, who went first overall to the Cincinnati Bengals. Tagovailoa has gone 32-19-0 over his first 4 seasons as a starter, but, we're of the belief that he's a product of Miami's system.
Hey, Joey B lived up to his first pick status. He hasn't lived up to his first round 5th pick status.
Still, consider his stats before Tyreek Hill arrived in 2022.
Yeah, his stats before Tyreek Hill were very pedestrian. I'm gonna just keep it a stack.
27 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. In 2021, he averaged a 204.1 passing yards per game. Tua's first 2 years with Hill, 54 touchdowns and 22 interceptions, and he averaged at least 272 passing yards per game in each season. Here's the deal. Tua looks great now because he can just throw a pass to the league's best deep threat and let Hill do the rest. Oh, and not to mention Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, and Devon Achane are whole world difference makers too. Throwing Tagovailoa's awful record against teams with winning records for his career. And yeah, you have an overrated QB. He can beat up on the bad and mediocre teams with his insane set of weapons, but when it comes to elite competition, Tagovailoa just folds. So
Tua is also very injury prone too. Let's keep that in fact.
Hey, maybe let's all stop hyping him as a superstar and MVP level QB. Can we at least get like one playoff win first?
Right.
But hey, who do you think is the most overrated quarterback?
That's the end of that one, man. These are accurate. They're pretty accurate. I'll admit. They did good here. All right. Should we react to one more video before closing out, or like? Should I react to one more video? Yeah, let's do one more video real quick. Let's see. Should we do another TPS reaction? Shout out to whoever could pull through for this. Active individuals will never be able to superstar. That's kind of hard. Wreck their team. Let's see the names who are most likely to get cut because I only started a second of it, but I didn't get into the list. Let's see that.
When we say it'll be on time, they expect it to be on time.
Turn shipping to your advantage.
Keep those expectations with reliable ground
drop a like.
Thanks, Brandon.
With USPS Ground Advantage.
When you visit Tires Plus, there really are no wrong choices. We keep it positive with transparent information and good, better, and best tire options. So you'll always feel confident you made the right call. That's the positive side of buying tires.
Likely to still get cut between now and week 1.
See, wasn't lying.
Part of the offseason is always fun just because you kind of get a chance to be back around the guy.
Marshawn Lattimore. At the start of the 2021 season, the New Orleans Saints handed all-pro cornerback Marshawn Lattimore a 5-year contract extension worth $97.6 million.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the right move.
The deal made perfect sense at the time. The Saints were coming off a 4th straight NFC South Division title and were still viewed as a playoff contender. But after 3 straight non-postseason appearances, it's gut-check time in New Orleans. According to OverTheCap.com, cutting Lattimore this offseason would bring a $22.648 million dead money charge. But also consider this. They'd save $20.758 million against the cap in 2025 and an additional $21.258 million for 2026. From a long-term perspective, cutting Lattimore is...
He low-key looked like TJ Warren mixed with DeMarcus Cousins. Anyway.
The right move for a team that has to perform miraculous salary cap gymnastics every single offseason. And if you're part of the Saints should be trying to win now club, well, they just used a 2nd-round pick on former Alabama star Kool-Aid McKinstry, and the Saints D has been a top 10 unit in each of the last 2 years, even though Lattimore has played a combined 17 games during that period. Not saying that the Saints should release Lattimore. We're just saying don't be overly surprised if they decide to pull the cord now. This team has to start cutting bait with high salaried players. And Lattimore's release would provide much needed breathing room for the 2025 and 2026 payrolls. Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
after a career year,
he's just not that good anymore. I'm sorry.
The Philadelphia Eagles in 2022. Sanders signed a 4-year deal with the Canterbury around pending still roping on. So, of course, it made sense to add a star running back in the midst of his reasonable long-term deal. At least Sanders had an awful first year with Carolina, recording only 432 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. You can blame the Panthers' run blocking all you want, but then why did Chuba Hubbard replace Sanders as the RB1 and go off for 902 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns?
Hey, Chuba Hubbard, he got them tree trunk ass legs, man. That's why he did that. Hey, y'all saw what I used him on Madden 23. Y'all saw, like, he was going bananas for you, boy. You respect Chuba Hubbard over here.
Carolina used a second-round pick on Texas Longhorns running back Jonathan Brooks, regarded as the best RB prospect of the 2025 class. They also signed former Seattle Seahawks star Rashad Penny to bolster the depth at running back. So either Hubbard or Brooks will be the RB1 in 2024, with the other being the RB2. If you're Carolina, I mean, you may as well cut your losses and just release Sanders, knowing that you aren't going to get much use out of him. Sanders would carry a dead money charge of $7.4 million, but they'd also clear up $6.7 million and $5.5 million in cap space for 2025 and 2026, respectively. So, yeah, I'd say it's worth pulling the cord now. Kenny Clark. Clark has been a mainstay on the Green Bay Packers defensive line since he arrived as rookie back in 2016. Like a fine wine, Clark is...
When you think about it, though, Kenny's kind of a staple to that D, though. But then again, he's been so inconsistent, I see why they would cut him.
He's only gotten better with age, earning his 3rd Pro Bowl nod last season after tallying a career-high 7.5 sacks. The Packers would love
7.5 sacks is his career high? Wow, bro.
To keep Clark in an
that goes to show that he doesn't try that hard.
Ideal world, but the salary cap means an ideal world doesn't exist in the NFL.
Ooh.
The pack was loaded with playmakers in the front 7, namely Preston Smith, Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, Quay Walker, and rookie Edgerrin Cooper. Green Bay needs to make room for its youngsters, Wyatt especially, after spending his first 2 years in a rotational role. Releasing Clark would save the Packers a whopping $17 million in cap space for 2024, allowing GM Brian Gutekunst to make another big move or two that would address other positions of need. Clark is also scheduled to become a free agent after the 2024 season, and the Packers are unlikely to extend him long-term. Yes, the Packers are a better team with Clark on the field, but the NFL is a business, and Green Bay might find it.
If Kenny Clark's a free agent next year, he could prove viable use of my Vikings, because we do need some DT help. However, part of me doesn't want him over here because 7.5 sacks. And then, like, another thing is you choose when you want to play right rather than playing right every down. So, yeah.
Tough to pass on the opportunity to clear $17 million by releasing this pricey veteran. Cam Robinson. In the 2022 offseason, the Jacksonville Jaguars handed Robinson a 3-year contract extension worth $54 million.
Didn't know that.
Robinson has been a long-time mainstay in the Jags O-line. It is rather obvious that he's on borrowed time now in Duval County. Jacksonville used their 2023 first-round pick on Anton Harrison. In 2021 second-round pick Walker Little looks ready for his starting role after receiving increased playing time last year. And oftentimes, a player release has more to do about the money than the player himself. Look, Robinson is a good offensive tackle, just not a great one. And if Jacksonville were to cut him, they'd be saving a whopping $17.279 million against the cap. Heck, Robinson himself actually might be keen to accept a release, since that would allow him to actually be a starting tackle somewhere else. Kadarius Toney. There are 2 ways to look at Kadarius Toney's run with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I've been said this. Kadarius Toney wasn't on a doggone thing since leaving the Giants. And the Chiefs know and realize that he's been an overglorified underachiever since his career started. So there's that for you.
Chiefs so far. Do you look at him as the 2-time Super Bowl champion who is also the unsung hero in their Super Bowl 57 victory against the Eagles? Or do you view him as the guy who struggled with drops all of last year, making him the main source of frustration in KC? In some ways, it's miraculous that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl again with that wide receiver core. But
that speaks to Patrick Mahomes' genius and the genius of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes' greatness that a no-name receiver like Tony could do that.
And Brett Veach ensured that Patrick Mahomes won't have to deal with such issues again by signing Marquise Hollywood Brown and drafting Texas.
Yeah. Brown and Worthy are going to be nice additions. I'm not sure what's going on about Rusty right because I think he's in hot water.
Worthy. Since Tony is on his rookie contract, releasing him would only cost KC $2.530 million in dead money anyhow. To us, that seems like a way better deal than trying again to unlock the potential of the former New York Giants first-round pick. Tony just hasn't cut it at the NFL yet. But if the Chiefs do release him, several clubs will likely want to take a flyer on the speedster who has yet to put it all together. That is, of course, if KC decides to cut bait now. Bailey Zappi. In a surprise move, the New England Patriots waived Zappi at the start of the 2023 season. He was brought back soon after, however, and wound up replacing Mac Jones as the starting QB mid-season. Zappi saw 10 game appearances in 2023. He relieved Jones in 4 of them and was the starter for the other 6, throwing for 6 touchdowns against 9 interceptions on a very lousy Patriots squad. The Patriots wound up sending Jones to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and new GM Elliott Wolf added not 1, but 3 new QBs this offseason. The Pats used the 3rd overall pick on North Carolina quarterback Drake May. Even if he's not ready, they brought back old friend and journeyman Jacoby Brissett on a 1-year deal to be the bridge QB. New England also used a 6th-round pick on Tennessee star Joe Milton III. The Pats do not need 4 quarterbacks, so of course Zappi has to be the odd man out.
I think Bailey's just going to be on the practice squad until somebody else picks him up or they can trade him somewhere.
Out over Brissett and the other 2 rookies. Zappi had brief moments of brilliance in his rookie 2022 season while Jones was injured, so heck, there might be some value if he hits the open market. And for Zappi's sake, that's the best case scenario at this stage. Robert Woods. The Houston Texans have a pretty good problem.
Yeah, they got
too many offensive weapons, but only 1 football for CJ Stroud to distribute the ball to. Last year, Houston signed 2-time 1,000-yard wide receiver Robert Woods to a 2-year deal worth $15.25 million. The former Los Angeles Rams star struggled to find targets behind Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Dalton Schultz, however. And he finished with just 40 receptions for 426 yards and a touchdown. That was the worst statistical season of Woods' career.
Hey, they got Stephon now, so they're like a 4-headed receiver roster.
And now that the Texans have added superstar Stephon Diggs via trade with the Buffalo Bills, why should they bother keeping Woods in his hefty $9.7 million cap hit on the books for 2024? Releasing Woods would carry a $4.75 million dead money charge, but also open up $4.955 million in cap space. Truth be told, it only makes sense for the Texans to release Woods instead of keeping him on the roster for another year, especially at his salary. Taysom Hill. The Swiss Army knife has been one of football's most intriguing and
I don't think this is going to happen, though, because he means a lot to the Saints.
Exciting players to watch since he broke into the league as a 27-year-old rookie back in 2017. As the receiver of the New Orleans Saints, he's 7-2 as a starting QB, but has been especially dangerous as a runner, racking up 2,159 rushing yards and 27 rushing scores. But releasing Hill would save the cap-strapped Saints $8.5 million. For a team that is always finding itself tens of millions of dollars over the cap, that may be a tough sum of potential savings to pass on. The Saints are retooling their offense around new OC Clint Kubiak. Chris Olave, Jawan Johnson, Rashid Shaheed, Alvin Kamara, and Jamal Williams are all nice set of weapons for Derek Carr. So Hill's role could very well reduce with people have no shortage of potential suitors. Hey, a potential reunion with Sean Payton in Denver, anyone? James Bradbury. Awesome. To be honest, it's rather surprising that the Eagles haven't cut nor traded Bradbury, given A, his awful 2023 season, and B, the fact that they've given A, his awful 2023 season, and B, the fact that they've loaded up on stud defensive backs. After earning a second-team All-Pro nod in 2022, and after helping the Eagles to a Super Bowl 57 appearance, Bradbury signed a 3-year contract extension worth $38 million. Bradbury went from hero to, well, almost zero in 2023. Per Pro Football Reference, he allowed 740 passing yards in coverage and yielded a ridiculous 114.3 opposing passer rating when targeted. As well, Pro Football Focus gave Bradbury a lackluster 56.6 grade for the season. Eagles GM Howie Roseman brought back old friends C.J. Gardner-Johnson in free agency to bolster the secondary. And he somehow came away with 2 of the top 3 cornerback prospects, Toledo's Quinion Mitchell and Iowa's Cooper DeJean on draft weekend. Cutting Bradbury wouldn't save Philly any money against the salary cap this year, but the dead money charge would be minimal at $4.305 million, with $4.724 million in cap savings on the books for 2025. So, yeah, it wouldn't at all be a shock if the Eagles decided to cut the former Pro Bowler as a part of their massive shakeup in the secondary. Treylon Burks. The Tennessee Titans baffled everyone when they traded superstar wideout A.J. Brown to the Eagles at the 2022 NFL Draft. Then GM John Robinson thought that he could replace Brown by using the number 18 pick on Arkansas product Treylon Burks. Unfortunately, various injuries have limited Burks to 22 games over his first 2 NFL campaigns. Burks has not been a difference maker whatsoever, with only 49 receptions for 665 yards and 1 touchdown during that period. To date, Burks has had just 1 100-yard game. He's gone north of 70 yards only twice, too. Well, Titans GM Rand Carthen and new head coach Brian Callahan weren't here when the Titans drafted Burks. Speaking of Carthen, he just to accommodate DeAndre Hopkins before adding another former 1,000-yard receiver in Tyler Boyd. So Burks is now the number 4 receiver at best on Tennessee's depth chart. And we haven't even mentioned running back Tony Pollard. If Carthen and Callahan don't view Burks as a fit in the offense, why keep him around? His role will obviously be minimal at best, and the Titans may find kindness in their hearts to give Burks a much-needed fresh start. But hey, which other big NFL names are most likely to get...
It's a ball game for that. With that, thank you all for coming through to the stream, man. It's 7 o'clock. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing, and bearing with my sports opinions and all that, man. The next monthly stream I'll do, it'll be a lot less sports based because we'll be deep into the NBA finals, and we're not going to be too much into the NFL since the schedule release and all that. We're going to do a lot more fun things until then. Now, let me edit this title real quick. I'm going to say that. All right. Thank you guys for coming through, man. I'll see you all next time. Deuces. Oh, yeah. One last thing. Subscribe.